So this is fine. But the problem is here, like, this is the only fine thing about this trade. You stand in your minion wave, you take damage from her, and she is damaging your minion wave at the same time. But at least you trade it back onto her, right? That's the very bare minimum, but it's not enough. Like, actually, the bare minimum would be not ever being in a situation where she hits your wave and you at the same time, which is difficult. Because ultimately, against a good Ahri, what is standing next to your wave? If you stand here, she can also just position like this, and then she can still hit your wave and you at the same time, right? So in an ideal matchup, both of you should constantly be moving and looking for angles to avoid her Q and she to hit you with her Q, right? So that is how it ideally should work. Now you're lucky and you're Elo. Ahri is not always going to find the most creative and best angles to like Q you. She's just going to look for the standard ones, right? So standing next to your wave already does a lot. She's not just going to walk like this and do all of this fancy stuff. She's then just going to choose for the wave or for you most of the time. So that's what we want to do. If we stand here right now and Ahri Qs us, we have the option to either push in the wave so that we get wave prio, or to trade back with her, right? If she used to Q us, then she can't hit the wave, and if she used to Q the wave, then she can't hit us, right? So it's basically, we make her choose something. Right now, we didn't do that, and now she gets the wave prio, because ultimately she hit like 3 minions here, or like 4 minions with damage, and you at the same time. So now it's extremely hard for you to get prio over the wave. What's a very big problem here is this. You're going to see it in just a bit. Like right now, and this is no offense, but a good Vladimir player right now, or just a good player, instead of walking like this, would right now walk like this. This way, you dodge the Q and you're in range to like do an auto attack or punish her, or then your Q is about to come up. So you can walk up right now, wait for your Q. It's 3 seconds, but you can walk up, do an auto attack, or keep on walking, and then you do your Q. Right, because her Q is still going to be down for 7 seconds. So even if you have to wait 3 seconds, you can still walk, wait for 3 seconds, Q, and walk back. That is the goal here. If you always move linear, the problem with that is you can only move forward and move backwards. Meaning if you want to dodge something, you go backwards, but then you're not in range anymore to bully your opponent. Right? This is exactly the same concept of standing next to your wave. If you stand next to your wave, your opponent can't hit you or the wave at the same time, because if they hit the wave, you're in range to attack them. Here it's the same. If they do an ability onto you, we want to dodge diagonally like this or like sideways to make sure that we're still in range to punish them. If we move backwards, like right now, look, okay, we dodged a skill shot, but we can't punish her. We have a red Q coming up. She doesn't have Q. She didn't respect the fact that our red Q was coming up. She just wasted Q and we can't even punish her for that.
Yeah.
Right?
I see now, yeah.
And this is mind-blowing, because this concept, together with not standing next to the wave, and the bigger concept here is not pressuring your opponent enough, this happens throughout the entire laning phase. And this is extremely important. Because if you don't do this, a matchup like Ahri becomes extremely intense and extremely like taxing for you to play, because Ahri is ultimately just a machine in terms of throwing out abilities constantly, spamming abilities, W, low cooldowns. She has like high mana pool, so she can basically constantly spam you with abilities, auto attacks. It can become so overwhelming if you don't put the pressure back onto her. This champion is very like intense, has low cooldowns, but if you put the pressure back, in that case, she will like also be less of a good player. Especially lower elos, they can't really deal with pressure. So to take some pressure off of yourself, you actually have to start pressuring your opponent. Here we don't really pay attention to level 2, but we also get it. So again, we don't trade back. You see the trend here?
Yeah, I see it now.
And this is like, we're just not confident enough. So here we move back, we don't trade back. And now what happens here, she gets level 2 first. It's not really that much of a problem because we're also going to hit level 2 here. So right now it's already too late to like dodge her abilities. So what we can do is, it's too late to like walk away and be out of range. We're going to get hit anyway. So right now we try to dodge, but we're fully aware that we're going to hit level 2 here anyway, and that we can trade back. So right now this happens. I will not walk away right now. I'm not okay with taking this damage, right? I'm level 2 right now. I would level my E or W depending. Like I would wait until she does like her Q or E. Because if she does her E, I might have to use pool to dodge it, right? If she throws a Q at me, I will quickly level my E and then like I can trade back. So here trading back would have been great. I want you to start doing stuff a lot earlier, right? Get something done. Yes, you're a Vladimir, but we're not okay with handshaking our opponent and saying, you're farming, I'm okay with that because I outscale you. No, that only works in an ideal world where our bot lane doesn't go 0-20, right? We need to do more than just handshaking waves and hoping that we can outscale our opponent based on farm, because our bot lane is probably not going to do that and they're probably going to be 0-10. And then by the time that you have your 3 items, the game is already over 10 minutes, right? So the Drave Malor already have finished at that point. So that's not what we're going to do. We're going to do more, always looking for that little bit extra to make sure that if that Draven is 5-0, it's fine, because we're also 5-0. So here
I definitely agree with you on this. I've been trying to I usually play just like random champions whenever I play flex with my friends, my high school friend group. We usually play like as a 5, but so I've been locking in Vladimir a little bit more recently. I've just been playing like as ham as I can, level 1, level 2, and but the just like to limit test because I know it doesn't really matter there. But I
Yeah.
feel like as soon as I go on solo queue, it's like that part of my brain just turns like switches off. It's like a
Yeah.
different mode. I definitely gotta try to incorporate more of that early game aggression that I play with my friends in these games. I'm definitely gonna try just going ham again. I'm just gonna treat it like another flex game.
I hope right now that you see this lane becomes unplayable. You're low, she's low, and now it feels unplayable. And it's not because you traded too much with her. It's because she traded with you, and you never traded back. Right now, you should be this HP, and she should also be like 40% HP. And then you played smart with your sustain and your potion usage, and then you should come out on top. Also, she has a mana bar, you don't, so you can out-sustain her before she has something like Lost Chapter, right? But trading back allows you to do that. If you never trade back, this happens. So playing passively, in the end, actually fucks up your lane. Again, E usage, right? We're already low on HP. Already low on HP, and what do? Here, look how low we are. And now we're gonna E. Right now, your laning phase is over, right? If right now I'm the Ahri, you know what the Ahri should do right now here? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, just walk him and just beat on me.
E flash.
E flash, okay.
If you right now E flash, you're dead. Like you're gonna be very close to being dead, and you're not gonna be able to escape. Very likely. Even if you end up escaping with phase rush, with ghost, with flash, you have to burn everything. She gets to shove in the wave, potentially take a plate because she has teleport. She can't overstay here to take a blade. Recall, come back with a lot more gold than you, a lot more XP than you, and now she's either gonna overrun you in lane or just outroam you. This is the concept of prio, basically. You always lose the prio in the lane, you always give your opponent the opportunity to run you down to your turret and get all the prio over the wave, just because you randomly start doing your abilities. I get the idea, like, you kind of want to trim the wave, but we're like nowhere near in the position to do that right now. Super low, we can't afford like trying to hold this wave here with this low HP. Like, look at it like this. If right now you do this E, you trim the wave a little bit, what is it gonna matter? She's just gonna run us down right now, get us HP super low to a point where we're gonna have to recall anyway. And then trimming the wave wasn't even good. So do you understand this?
Yeah, I understand that now.
So typically against a teleport player, you want to recall before them. The reason is, if you recall before them, then you have some tempo on them. And you need to have some tempo onto them to make sure that they don't gain tempo onto you. Because they have teleport, right? They can gain tempo onto you. But if you already have tempo onto them, you nullify that. So then basically they nullified your tempo with their TP, but that's exactly what you want. It's like, most of the time, the best thing that you can do is like just nullifying their TP. Like, you get an earlier reset, you get back to lane, and they're still in lane. They have the advantage of being able to recall later and then teleporting back. But then they're at the same time in lane again, just as you, so the tempo is the same. But they at least couldn't use their teleport advantage. It was just, they used it to like just be even with you. That's like the dream scenario against a TP player, right? Here that wasn't the case, but she was recalling, so instead of attacking this wave, I would have recalled immediately, like to match her recall. That way, yes, I would have lost some tempo, but not too much, right? The problem here is, look what we do. We are still shivering in this wave. She's already recalling. She's already teleporting back. And before we're even recalling, she's already back in lane hitting the wave. So now we're very behind on tempo.
On tempo?
Yeah, exactly. And that means right now that she can shiv in this wave and roam. So placing a ward here before you recall would right now give you vision to see to which side she moves. And then you can ping more accurately. We just got into the lane, we have Fiendish Codex, we're full HP, we have ultimate, we have our ghost in 60 seconds. Right now, what do? We wait for one summoner spell. We sit in lane, right? We wait for one summoner spell, and then we do stuff. We shove in, and we hard fight Ahri. We hard trade with Ahri, shove in, look to dive her, and then after we killed her, we take a plate. Or if that's not viable, if that's just unrealistic for one way or another, we look to shove in the wave and dive bot lane, for example, or roam bot lane, or go top lane, or invade the enemy blue buff, or grump with our jungler. Right? Or go top lane and invade something here, or go for a scuttle crab fight, or place a deep ward, and then maybe something later can come from placing that ward. Like maybe in a minute later, when you place that ward, something happens, and now you can move with your jungler. Right? You want to get something done. I don't care what it is, but you need to get something done. Just sitting in lane farming is not enough. This is not enough. What is happening here? I do not care. I see this. I'm moving. I'm moving right now with my Kayn. My Kayn is on the bot side of the map here. I can move with him. We just move. By the time that we're here and we see that the enemy's backed off, we just walk back to lane. right? But we look for this opportunity. We have ultimate right now. We have Phoenix Codex. We're useful. We want to do something. Right now, if you stay in lane, can you get something done here? Right now, no. It's very unrealistic to think that you can get this plate. It's very unrealistic that you can dive her, that you can kill her, right? You can't really get anything done. Here, this is potentially an opportunity to get something done. So we're going to go for it. Doesn't mean we have to commit, but that's the beauty of having prio. Right now you have prio, you can move. And if you don't like the play here, you can decide to go back. That's the beauty of having prio. You don't need to commit, but you have the option to. Yeah, so we're not really getting a lot of done here. We don't even get the play. And right now, if you would have moved, you would have potentially gotten something done. 100% actually. Like 100%. If you and Kane right now move bot lane, this Draven is about to recall here. You just dive him, you kill him. Right? So 100%. 100%. But you didn't know that at the time, but you could still move and then you can still deal with the situation how it is. Like you can still see and react to the situation. That's the main thing. Right now, again, we're not doing anything. We have two options right now. We let the wave shove towards us and look to like kill Ahri here, right? Or we immediately like trade with Ahri right now to get her low, or we shove in the wave and get something done again. Take a plate or move top, move bot.